Good evening.
Hello,
How are you?
welcome. Good to see you, Christian. I'm just going to introduce the class and then I'll come back and talk to you, okay?
Okay.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to this verbling class. This is a writing class. So, if you don't have the opportunity to practice your writing very often, it might be worthwhile to attend one or two of the writing classes that are available on verbling because you can use the time to practice your writing skills and also receive feedback and corrections from the teacher. So today's class, our theme is write a fairy tale. A fairy tale is one of those traditional children's stories that you probably know very well about. And in English, they generally start with the words once upon a time, once upon a time. So we're going to see what you guys come up with today. It's a bit of a creative class. We have a few more students with a slot booked, so I think while we're waiting, I'll just let you know about a couple of things. If you're new to verbling, or perhaps if you've been around for a while and you may not know about these two useful pages that I'm going to share with you. The first one is my verbling teacher page, and if you click on that link that I've just shared, you can visit my teacher page and you can find out all about me and see when I'm free. So this is really handy if you find a teacher that you'd like to see a bit more of. If you want to attend one of their classes, perhaps you might like to have a one-on-one tutoring session with a particular teacher, then head over to their teacher page and check out their schedule. You can book a class directly with them from there. And if you have any questions, you can also get in touch with them by writing them a message, and also you can see their video, their teacher welcome video, some class videos, a bit about their experience and all that kind of thing. So it's a great place to go if you've never been. And then if you're a Facebook person, you might also want to follow some of us on Facebook. So there's my Facebook page. If you're interested, you can click on that one as well. With that behind us, I'll remind you this is a verbling writing class, and now we're going to say hi to our students. So we'll go back to Christian. Hi, Christian, I don't know if I've met you before.
Yes, okay. I'm Christian. I'm living in Geneva,
Mhm,
and it's not the first time I come to Verling,
mhm.
and I'm happy to try to write with you this evening.
Wonderful. Well, me too. It's lovely to meet you. And tell me about your picture, Christian. Is that, I don't know, Vietnam or something it looks like it could be?
No, no. It's Myanmar.
Ah, okay.
Myanmar, yes. And I went a lot of time in Myanmar to take some picture, and I do a lot of exhibition in Paris.
Hmm.
And you can see my site if you want. I give you now. So,
So you're a oh, and he's gone. Just as it was getting interesting. All right, he'll be back in a moment, hopefully. Um, and while we're waiting for the Christian to come back, we'll say hello to Anna. How are you today, Anna?
Hi Amy, I'm fine. I'm happy to see you again. I
Wonderful.
like your classes very
Thank
much.
you. I'm very pleased about that. It's great to have you. I'm always interested to see what you're going to write, Anna, so I'm looking forward to that again today. Welcome. Who else do we have here? Philip, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, teacher. Thank you. How are you too?
Wonderful. I'm great, thank you. We won't spend too much time talking today because obviously the purpose of this class is writing. So
Okay.
let's say hi to Julian. Hello, Julian.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
um, Christian, you're back. I was just about
yeah.
to ask you, and then you've disappeared. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything is okay. It was the connection at home was failed. I don't know why, but it's okay
Oh,
now. Sorry about that.
that's okay. So you're a photographer.
I am a photographer. I around the world,
Mhm.
and I make a lot of exhibition,
Mhm.
And the latest one, it was in New York, in your country,
Yeah.
in the street photography.
Mhm.
And I went a lot of time also in Myanmar and Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and every country in Asia. I like it.
Wonderful.
If you like the picture, you can.
Cambodia. Cambodia.
Cambodia, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, I was just going to say thank you for sharing your link. If anyone wants to have a look at Christian's photos, then go ahead. Click on the link in the chat box. Thank you, Christian. It's lovely to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Javier, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Javier, have I met you before, or have you just changed your picture?
No, it's the first. No, I don't think so. It's the first time in your class.
Okay, wonderful. Just before I launch into saying hi, and I've seen you lots of times before. So tell me, where are you from, Javier?
I'm from Mexico, but I live in California.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, welcome everybody. We're just going to have a quick discussion about what we're going to do today. I've got a file for you to write on, but it's actually a blank file. So you've got to use your imagination today. Our topic is writing a fairy tale. So you can basically write whatever you like on the theme of fairy tales. And so you might want to use a fairy tale that you know as a kind of an inspiration, or you might just want to make something up, but try to aim for the sound and the feel of a story today, okay? So you may want to begin your writing with Once Upon a Time, which is the sort of traditional opening for a fairy tale. Does anyone know what the traditional closing for a fairy tale is in English?
And they live happily ever after.
Thank you, Anna. So you may want to finish with that too. They, obviously, maybe you can change that depending on your character, but they lived I can't type this morning, happily ever after. So if you want to, you can use these two little opening and closing sentences for your story, but you don't have to. But try to write a story which is something that maybe you could tell a child, or like a traditional sounding story. If you want to share one from your country that you think maybe we won't know, that is also an option. So all you need to do is to click on the link that I've shared in the chat box, and then you type your name here and you start writing. You might want to start with Once Upon a Time, or you might want to do something else. And I'm going to give you about 20 minutes. So whenever you're ready, get going. If you have any questions, I'm right here. If you'd rather not write straight onto the file, then you're welcome to write somewhere else on your computer. And then at the end of when you finish, you can copy and paste it for me into the chat box, and I will put it into the file so that we can correct it. So, any questions before we start? No? Wonderful. Okay, if you could please mute your microphone, then we all stay nice and quiet and we can concentrate, and I will see you in 20 minutes, guys.
Amy, when I opened the document, I saw a link. It was written open, and now I am in another document. I'm not in the same, I think, because
Okay.
I just can see myself typing.
Right. That's all right. I'm going to redo that. So if you could just bear with me, guys. Start typing somewhere else on your computer. I will try to sort the file out again. Just bear with me a moment.
Should I erase it?
Yeah, I don't know where you are, Anna, but maybe just start writing somewhere on your computer, and we'll try again with this file.
Which file?
I'm going to upload a new file. So if you just start writing somewhere else, then once I've given you the link to the new file, you can paste it in there, okay?
Okay, I'm waiting.
All right, I'll try and be as quick as I can.
Should we invent a fairy tale?
Yes.
Okay. No file.
I'm just working on it, Anna, so you might need to give me a few minutes. I just want to start again in case something's happened. Right, there's the second file. If you guys could all please use the second link. I've changed it. Hopefully that's now working.
Amy, sorry, I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
We keep writing in the first document or in the second document?
No, sorry,
Or-
we've rejected the first one, Julian. So if you can just copy and paste your writing into the second one, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
How many times, Amy?
Well, about a few more minutes, Anna, because we've had a bit of a slow start with the file, so 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay, time to just read through, make any corrections that you notice yourself, and we're going to start correcting in a minute or so, and if you're ready, just let me know. Okay, time to start correcting. So, is anybody willing to go first?
I can try it.
All right, Julian, excellent. So, let's go and unbold what you've got here. And then if you could read it for us, please.
Okay. The fairy tales in Colombia are strange to find, but I shall write for you a daily story that may work for good. Rafael was born in Bogota in 1998. His parents were a typical family of middle class. He and his brother went to the same school and lived in a suburban neighborhood called Ciudad City. When he was a child, he carried for his father every day a telescope to see the stars, because he always was impressed by their beauty. And every night he said, "One day I will see the stars from the NASA telescope, the Hubble, because I want to know if the stars move or are quiet in the space." So his father accomplished the desire of his son. I remember the Christmas of this band. He was so happy. I'm sorry, I don't finish the history. I don't have more time.
No problem, Julian. Is this a story, a famous story from Colombia?
No, it's a story of a friend of me that he's always dreamed to work for NASA, and now he's working NASA.
Wow. So tell us quickly what happened afterwards. Can you tell us in words?
He every night for when his father gift the telescope. He was maybe 13 years,
Yeah.
and every day he watch or he see the stars
Mhm.
and began to write and understand the physics and mathematics of the universe.
Mhm.
And in star air, he studied physics in the National University here in Colombia,
Mhm.
the most biggest public university, and then like a work,
Mhm.
external work, the final work of the university. He traveled to California. I don't remember that where is the station, the station control of the
NASA.
Hubble.
Oh, the
Yes,
Hubble telescope. I don't know either, Julian. I
I
think it
think
might
it is
be
in California. I
California.
don't remember so well. But and then he started to his practice in NASA for 6 months, and then he works for NASA about over 2 years, and then we go to the Europe, did a PhD in physics in
Mhm.
astrophysics, and return again to the NASA.
Wow, that's so inspiring. That must be very cool to know this very impressive guy, Julian. All right, so let's have a look and see if we can make any corrections. So, the fairy tales in Colombia. I think really we generally would just put fairy tales. Fairy tales in Colombia are strange to find. What do you mean by strange? Maybe difficult to find?
Yes.
Okay. But I shall write for you a daily story that may work well. To work well, okay?
Uh,
Um,
why? Why work if the story is in third person? No,
uh,
I confused.
yes, okay, so I shall write for you a daily story that may work well. It's because you've got may, that's the first verb,
Oh,
not the,
okay.
and work is your second. If you said that works well, then it's okay. You would have S, but may is the verb that's taking on the subject, and it doesn't change to mays, okay?
Okay.
I think what you mean is an everyday story. An everyday story, okay?
Okay.
Wonderful. Raphael was born in Bogota in 1978. 1978. His parents, oh, we need a full stop there. His parents were a typical family of middle class. So maybe you could say his parents were, um, because you said his parents, it's not actually his family. It sort of is, I guess. But you could say either his parents were um, typical middle class, or maybe he was from a typical middle class family.
Okay.
So maybe that sounds better. He was from a typical middle class. Middle class we use as an adjective, and then we put family after. And I think we could do an and here. He and his brother went to the same school and lived in a suburb neighborhood called Ciudadela col Subsidio. Full stop. Brilliant. When he was a child, he called for his father every day a telescope. He asked his father for. Okay? So it's when you
Okay.
want something, you ask somebody for something. Okay? So he asked his father every day for a telescope to see the stars because he was always impressed by their beauty. And every night he said, "One day I'll see the stars from the NASA telescope," the Hubble with a capital because it's the name. Because we should stick with not too much slang, okay? I want to know if the stars move or are quiet in space. Maybe you mean still, here, Julian. I think you mean still if you're coming from Spanish rather than quiet, because quiet is to do with noise. not movement in English, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his father accomplished, I'd say fulfilled rather than accomplished, okay? Fulfilled the desire of his son. I remember the Christmas of this event, he was so happy. Christmas has a capital because it's coming from the word Christ, which is a name. Well done. Really, a few little mistakes there. Just this one, like a sentence arrangement, but overall excellent. Well done, Julian, and I love the story you chose.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Javier, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Brilliant. Could you read, please?
Once upon a time, there was a Mexican man named Pablo. He lived in a corrupted small town. He had the power to go invisible. He would go and steal money from bad guys and give it to the people in need. He kept doing that for years until he had an accident and lost his power. But he found out that his son has the same power. The end.
This is a very short fairy tale, Javier. Did you make this up, or is this a true Mexican fairy tale?
No, it's a real story.
Okay.
No, it's
I-
not. It's just now.
You just made it up.
Yes.
I thought so. Very good English, I must say. And have you based this on any kind of reality, Javier?
No, this nothing. But just
Just your
I mean-
imagination. All right, let's have a look. Once upon a time, there was a Mexican man named Pablo. I think we just put full stop. You can put a comma. In that case, you'd say who lived in a corrupted small town.
Okay.
Generally, because you're using it as an adjective, we'd say corrupt, a corrupt small town, okay? He had the power to go invisible. He would go and steal money from bad guys and give it to people in need. It's like Pablo Hood instead of Robin Hood, right? He kept doing that for years until he had an accident and lost his power. Perfect English. But he found out that his son had the same power, because we're talking about the stories in the past. Even though his son may have the power now, it's still the past because the story's in the past, okay? So we need to use had.
Okay.
Very good. 3 tiny, tiny corrections. Awesome. Well done, Javier. Okay. Who's next? Anna, you ready?
Yes, but mine is huge, childish, and this time it is not funny.
Okay, it's not funny. I'll prepare myself for a serious story, Anna.
I'm going to let you down. No, it's not serious. It is childish. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm looking forward to reading it anyway. Off you go.
Once upon a time, there was a girl, Anna, who was a troublemaker. She was always misbehaving in her school, her house, everywhere. She used to have a friend named Joanna, who was the same. They both were two peas in a pod. The phrase, I dare you, used to work like a magic word, because if any child on the earth's surface asked it to one of those girls, they immediately would be willing to do whatever they would ask them, unthinkable things, just to prove they were brave and courageous. If someone told them, I trip dog dare you, they would never think of the consequences. Sometimes they also used to do mischievous things just for the heck of it. And to make it worse for their lives, they were studying a very strict religious school which was running by nuns. So imagine how many times they were grounded. They have done together crazy things like playing, I guess, uh, playing a piano in a balcony inside the church in the school while people were praying there. They did not know how to play it, yet they decided to play a suspense music, disrupting everyone there. Okay, one day Um, Joanna and Anna found out a magic lamp, and she I should use a name.
Mm.
And Joanna rubbed it. Either one. A genius appeared, appeared, sorry, in the past tense. And instead of asking for three great wishes, they just asked for fun, fun, and more fun. The genius did exactly what they had required, but it ended up badly. After having a lot of fun and doing amazing things, Anna was expelled from school due to the consequences of her wishes, such as the 10 cute pups she released inside the school. Joanna's house was completely destroyed because of the flying horse she had wished and that went bananas, so she could not control it. They they started crying a river. Their parents instead their parents would kill them. Anna was concerned about having her mom having conniptions. So when they were supporting one another, regretful, I forgot to type, and decided to change their lives, the genius appeared once more and told them, uh, Coach Marks, you've learned a lesson, so I'm going to undo it. Coach Marks again. The genius put a machine in their brains to measure the amount of willingness they had to do right things ever since. So all that confusion was undone. Undid, sorry. Undid.
Actually.
Undone. Sorry. And they turned into two nice and well-behaved girls, almost angels, and of course, they lived happily ever after.
Wow, Anna, what an imagination. I love the story. And great English as well. So let us quickly check through any mistakes. So once upon a time, there was a girl, Anna, who was a troublemaker. She was always misbehaving in her school, her house, everywhere. She used to have a friend named Joanna who was the same. They were two peas in a pod. We don't need to say both because it's already implied. The phrase "I dare you" used to work like a magic word because if any child on the Earth's surface asked it to one of those girls, they would immediately be willing to do whatever they had been asked. Unthinkable things just to prove they were brave and courageous. If someone told them, I triple dog dare you, because you're using a dare, Anna, usually we actually say dared as the actual verb here. If someone dared them, I triple dog dare you, or you could say challenged, but you can't say told in this case because it's not the right feeling. They would never think of the consequences. Sometimes they also used to do mischievous things just for the heck of it. And to make it worse for their lives, they were studying in a very strict religious school which was run by the nuns. So imagine how many times they were grounded. We might need an exclamation mark here. We don't want to have the present perfect because we're talking about a story in the past. So they did. They did crazy things together. Like playing a piano on a balcony inside the church, at school, while people were praying there. They did not know how to play it, yet they decided to play a suspense music. This made me laugh. To play suspense music, disrupting everyone there. One day, Joanna and Anna found out is to discover a piece of information, not to discover a thing, okay? So found or discovered a magic lamp, and Joanna rubbed it. A genie. A genius is someone who's really intelligent. A genie is what you mean, that blue thing that pops out of a lamp. And instead of asking for 3 great wishes, they just asked for fun and more fun. Fun, fun, and more fun. The genie did exactly what they had required, but it ended up badly. After having a lot of fun and doing amazing things, Anna was expelled from school due to the consequences of her wishes, such as the 10 cute puppies she released inside the school. Joanna's house was completely destroyed because of the flying horse she had wished for. That went bananas. And so she could not control it. They started crying a river. The parents would kill them. Anna was concerned about her mum having... What do you mean by conniptions, Anna? This isn't a word.
Teacher, I don't know. I learned this word in a class.
Conniption?
But I'm not sure. Yes, the teacher told me it means when someone goes off, goes crazy, starts yelling, crying. I don't know. I learned something like that, but I'm not sure.
It can't have been this word, Anna, because this definitely isn't a word. Conniption. I've never heard of this before.
Going into conniptions. I learned something like that in a class today. I was trying to use a new vocabulary.
Okay, well, let me look it up just to check that I am not.
But I believe it's not having, it's going into.
Oh. I'm pretty sure that this isn't actually anything. Okay, having conniptions on the phone. Alright, so this is a North American slang, which is why I don't recognize it. Yep, a fit of rage or hysterics. So, yep, okay, that's fine. I've never heard of this word before, so just beware that it's probably not, it's probably very, very specific to that part of the world, not a generally understood word, okay?
Okay.
So that's fine. Interesting, I've learnt a word today. So when they were supporting one another and deciding to change their lives, the genie appeared once more and told them, "You've learned a lesson, so I'm going to undo it." The genie put a machine in their brains to measure the amount of willingness they had to do right things. Because you've got ever since, you need to use the present perfect somewhere here. So which has measured? Which has measured the amount of willingness they have to do right things ever since, okay? So all that confusion was undone, and they turned into 2 nice and well-behaved girls, almost angels, and of course they lived happily ever after. Awesome, Anna. Very interesting and entertaining. Thank you, and well done. Hardly any corrections if you look at how much you've written, so great English as well. Any questions?
No, thank you, Amy. You know, I did it when I was a child. The story of the piano.
Oh, really? You played
Really?
suspense music?
Yes. In a religious school.
How funny.
On the balcony.
And did you get told off?
No, I was suspended for 1 week.
Oh, whoa, that's pretty bad, Anna. But so you were inspired by your own life events, huh? Awesome.
Yes.
All right. That's a little bit like Julian's, but kind of more of a silly type of a story. His is more of a kind of realistic one, I guess, or inspiring or something. Thank you, Anna. Okay, Philip, your turn. Could you read, please?
Once upon a time, there was a father who gathered his children to learn them about how stamina can pay. He started by telling them that the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. He took example of a donkey that was old and almost useless. His owner decided to get rid of it. He tried to bury it in a big and deep hole. They threw sand, ground, water, trash to fill the hole, and by the way, buried the old donkey. The hole was so deep that they could not see the donkey inside. His children and him walked from sunrise to sunset, but at the end they were surprised to see the donkey about to get out of the hole. All the trash that were thrown in the hole were just scattered by the donkey that walked on them, so they were like a ladder to it. The owner was really astonished by that performance and decided to let it alive and looked after it more than before.
Awesome, Philip. Is this a tale from your country or like a traditional story, or did you make it up?
Yeah, it's from my country.
Ah, I thought it sounded very wise. If you'd made this up, you'd be very wise. Very good. I love the story. Okay, so once upon a time, there was a father who gathered his children to learn, to teach them. A teacher teaches, right?
Yes.
And a student learns about how, I think, do you mean stamina here? Stamina?
Yeah.
Stamina. Like to keep going, you mean, yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can pay. Pay off might be better because it means like you get a reward, right? He started by telling them that the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. Perfect sentence. He gave the example of a donkey that was old and almost useless, so his owner decided to get rid of it. Full stop. He tried to bury it. Well done, almost there. One half of bury, okay? In a big and deep hole. This kind of a hole doesn't have an H, a hole in the ground. The H hole is for like not.
Yeah. Right, teacher.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. English spelling's a bit tough. Through has an H. They threw sand. Ground. We don't usually call it ground. We'd say soil or dirt or something like that. Okay. Soil, water, and at the end of a list we need an and trash. Down to fill the hole, and we don't need to say by the way, we just go straight to bury the old excuse me, donkey. Oh, excuse me. Okay. The hole was so deep that they could not see the donkey inside. Perfect. His children and him worked from sunrise to sunset, but at the end they were surprised to see the donkey about to get out of the hole. Excellent English so far, Philip. All the trash that they had thrown, because they threw the trash before the donkey came out. So you need to use the past perfect, okay?
Okay.
In the hole was... the trash was just skirted by the donkey that walked on it. So it was like a ladder to it, for the donkey, I'd say, because otherwise we've got kind of lots of it. The owner was really astonished, nice word, by that performance and decided to let it live and looked after it more than before. Awesome! Philip, that was really, really good. Well done.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, and last but not least, Christian, do you have some writing? Oh, yeah.
I prefer to pass my turn today, excuse me.
You prefer to?
To pass my turn today.
Okay, no problem, Christian.
Okay.
Anna, did you want to share something?
I don't understand this phrase. How stamina can pay off?
Ah, okay. If something pays off, it means that it is worth the effort that you put into it. So, for example, you can say anything like working hard, even when you're tired, pays off in the end because I don't know, you achieve more, you get further in your career or something like that. Basically, it means that there is some kind of reward or valuable result from doing something difficult.
And what does stamina mean?
Ah, okay. What's stamina, Philip?
Stamina.
Endurance.
Yeah.
Endurance.
Did you get that, Anna? Endurance.
Yes, thank you.
So, for example, if you're a long distance runner, then you need a lot of stamina because you have to be able to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay? All right. Really interesting stories, completely different from everybody today. So that was really interesting. Thanks everybody for sharing. I'm going to let you go now. You've got a few minutes before your next class, so go and get a cup of coffee or whatever you'd like to do. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will maybe see some of you next week. So take care, and see you later.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Goodbye.
Thank you.